what's up? This B-Boy R.E.G.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all. What up, though?
And this is Funky Fresh in the Flesh.
Yeah,
We
hip
got the
hop
the legendary.
podcast. Yes. We got the Hilltop Hustler up in here. Yes.
What's
Tat
up
Yeah.
with
Money
it?
in the house. How you doing, sir?
DJ Tat Money.
Oh
Yes.
man, I'm good, man. Blessed, real blessed. You
Thank
know
you.
what I mean?
Thank you for
Yeah.
showing up for us, man. We appreciate this for real.
True
Yeah.
indeed. By all means,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this camera right, man.
Hey, we just had an episode when we recorded and we was talking about some of the legendary DJs. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, it's got to be something in the water in Philly because y'all had some powerful
Right.
DJs out there.
Right.
You know, before we had the Jam Master Jace and Grandmaster D and everything, but it was something about y'all actual DJ skills from transforming to the tricks y'all did. Philly just had something different. So,
Right.
who were some of your influences and some of the DJs you were around when you were coming up?
So influences, they're gonna go like Grandmaster Flash, um, Grandmaster DST.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are probably my two influences that that I heard. There's a cat named Lawrence Levon. Lawrence Cut It La La Levon was his name. And you might not know about him because he was kind of legendary around here. Um, he was like a blend cat. So Cut It
Okay.
La La Levon. He wasn't really like a mix it, scratch it, cut it guy, but he would mix something like, Milk is chilling with like Sade or something. We'd be sitting there like, what? Like he was on some other stuff, and it was Urban AC. So, you know, as a shorty, I was like trying to pay attention and understand like how he did it. And then I linked up with like one of his co-arts, this cat named Apollo, and Apollo taught me how to count BPMs. So, back before you had a Serato or you had any kind of little, Vestex little beat counter or whatever, you had to count beats on your watch, on the stopwatch. So that's how I learned. So he had saw me DJ one night. I'm in there with my crew. This was before Hilltop. And we in like the Wynn Ballroom. I'm sure you probably heard of that before. It's in Winfield. That's where we all like kind of me, Will, Jeff, Schoolie, everybody's steady. Everybody's performing there. Let me see. I saw Salt and Pepper there for the first time at Supernature. And
Wow.
I saw Kid and Play there for the first time when they were their other name. I can't think of it right now, but and I saw Biz and Shantae there for the first time.
Wow.
So
Wow.
this was like the premier spot in Philly, and it was in a residential area, like a middle class area. Actually, it was on the corner of my grandmother's house, or grandmother's block. So I had just moved from Philly to the burbs. So, but all this stuff is hip hop started happening, and I'm just like, wait a minute. All my friends is DJing, and I'm just like, wait a minute. I just moved from the area. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, hold up. I gotta get my skills up. Like, wait a minute. I mean, because cats were good. I thought they were good, but I just felt like I would have something to bring to the table, It's
Right.
like, all right, I gotta.
It was real dope to see you as a DJ dancing with Stead, and as well, y'all dope with the cousins, but it was just like for you guys to have albums out. But the
Mm-hmm.
first time like to see DJ Miz and Aladdin on your MTV raps, and it was like, man, it was these Philly DJs, like they got the what I'm saying? You got Jazzy Jeff, you got Tat Money, you got Cash Money, you know what I'm saying? It was man, it was real good
Well,
times,
I mean, I'm a b-boy, so I beatbox, I break, I pop, you know what I mean? I rap, you know what I mean? So and DJ, so and I write graffiti. So I
Wow.
mean that's a b-boy, you know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Did I say I break? I break too. So um I was doing all that, like especially when I moved in like the suburbs, like when I was like 10. So I brought that Philly element to the burbs. So I don't live in Philadelphia. I mean, you kind of can't really, but I mean, if you say people like, oh, I'm keeping it all the way hood and this, that, and that, well, your ass will be getting robbed and everything else. I mean, you'd be getting set up. Hey, come right now.
Right.
Car right. Man, keep that out of here. Keep it
Right.
real crap, whatever, real dumb. Because man, look, I keep it on the low. I don't want nobody to know where I live at. Because this world is crazy. It's been crazy. But you know, at that time, I brought that element to the suburban schools, and I was, you know, doing my, I was beatbox, doing all that, you know, all that
still
stuff.
can do it.
So I mean, I would be at the pep rallies, and you know, I had a little crew, and everybody was just like, "Dang, this dude just got all this energy." Golly, but because it was really not a lot of people doing it out here.
Right.
So in my area, so I mean, I ain't far from Philly, but I mean, in this area, they just wasn't really rocking like that. So they was kind of in amazement, like, well, dang, this mug is doing all this stuff, and I started motivating people. So, and then it was just quiet. So I'm just like always DJing. I'm from the street. So I'm just like, it's so quiet out here, birds and crickets and rabbits and stuff running around. And I ain't used to all this shit. I'm used to the madness. Like, oh, they fighting, oh, they shooting. I'm used to that. Even as a shorty, I was. So in any event, I just was like bringing the noise. You know what I mean? So I'm walking around with a beat, with a radio and all that. You know, so yeah. So I kind of just brought that.
We seen some videos of you doing this. You hit like I don't know if it was the stop button or something. It slowed down and kind of stopped when you spent around, and the song said it slowed down and came back. Like, what made you come up with that?
I mean, just trying to do something different all the time. So I'm really just always, you know, actually where it actually came from, thinking about it, me and Cash is real tight. So we were rehearsing at his place when I went to the New Music Seminar in '89, because he won it in '88. Jeff won it in '87. And then when I went in '89 to New York, they was like, hold up. Ain't nope. No more Philly guys winning it. Nope.
Right.
No.
Right.
And they said that in the beginning. They said it in the beginning. So you're getting exclusive. You're getting exclusive right now, because I never really talked about this. But I mean, I got the video, and basically, long story short, they had like, you know, Flash was up there. They had Mr. Mix from Two Live Crew was up there.
Boy, Mr. Mix.
I know Mixmaster Ice was on the panel. Red Alert was on the panel. They had Lady B. They had Cash Money. I think Jeff was up there as well.
Okay.
So when it got down to the semifinals, they said, we don't need y'all anymore. Lady B, Jazzy Jeff, Cash Money. Yeah. Go ahead. And they shoot him off. They shoot him off the stage. And I went up against this guy, and I'm going to say his name, All Star Fresh. Now, All Star Fresh is, I'm going to be nice. He's a guy with the DJ title on his name, basically, to me. I mean, he did like one of Cash's routines from the year before. Bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. Bad meaning bad, but bad. And I was sitting there going, okay, now watch this. And then I did some tricks or whatever, and I had this hat with a ball on my head, ball on the end of it. I had on shorts. It was hot as hell in there. I mean, it was baking. It was at the Ritz in New York, and I did some bass. How low can you go? Something like that. I forget what record I cut up, and I spun around and I pulled the hat over my eyes, and the whole house blew up. I mean, the whole club just erupted when I did it. So when you do like a routine, that's what dictates who won the joint. You know what I mean? So he did something that was old, and it was actually from last year, and they was like, okay, we saw that Cash Money did that last year. Now he just did something brand new. I ain't never seen him do that. And they was laughing at me with the hat on that, mind you. So Biz was a MC. He was one of the masters of ceremony that night, and so was Daddy O from Stetsasonic. I would never forget it because they jerked me. You know what I'm saying? You're recording it, so it was and it's happened. It's happened to cats, and I just was like, I got my respect in NY that night. I was like, all right, 'cause they were screaming my name after the verdict. Basically, Biz got there. He was like, the winner of the DJ battle is fucked up, but I'll start fresh. And everybody started laughing because they knew I won, and they was just like, and he was like, I'm serious, and he was like, boo, that's fake, boo. So, the Miz had a similar situation, but he actually, I was making records. I had making albums with the Hilltop, and I got stuff going on, man. I couldn't be sitting here. I'm just DJing. I'm just a, world supremacist. That'd be great. It would have been nice. But I mean, I was making music. I was making albums, and we had obligations. So I had to like kind of, let's get that out the way. Let's try to make some hit records here, so we can take off. Miz had he had the time to go back and win because he became friends, and then they, with all the guys and the people at powers that be, you know what I mean? They, this guy's a real cool guy. All right, we can't jerk. He's my man. He's part of our crew now. All right, cool. And he won. He kicked ass. No, I ain't saying he gave it to him. He kicked ass because he went up against Aladdin and he kicked ass.
Oh wow!
I ain't gonna say that boy bad now. I ain't taking nothing from him. He was doing it. But I couldn't go back and get busy with it. I was just like, whatever. I'm cool. I got what I got.
You know what I always respected about the DJs of that era? It was like you mentioned it, where y'all would go out and y'all was making records, y'all was recording artists, but y'all would still take the time to go and battle. Right. Because a lot of times when we see that with the rappers, not all the rappers that actually make records, they not jumping in that battle ring with some of these battle rappers. But the DJs back then, y'all always kept it like y'all still had something to prove. Y'all wasn't just the DJ on record back then. So I always appreciated that about hip hop DJs.
You know why too? Because I'll say it like this: when you gonna attest to this too. When you go to a show, right? You go do it. Get on the show. It's this artist. It's that artist. It's this. It's this. It's that. Boom, boom, boom. Let's say Butter, you ain't go, right? But Reg, you went. Butter gonna be like, yo, Reg, you hooping and hollering about this show. Well, who was the best? Who rocked it? Oh man, my man DJ Blow, he rocked out, man. That's the one right there. That's what you gonna say.
Right.
So when I get on that set, you gonna be saying my name. You gonna be like, yo, he was on there, but dog right here, that's what we be shooting for.
Right. That makes sense.
You ain't trying to be, secondary to nobody. So
see, you guys being from Philly, y'all were the underdogs off top, huh? It's just like, yeah.
There it is. And that's a great point. So that leads right into the whole DJ situation. We had all the MCs, the tapes and whatnot, you know what I mean? The Mo D versus Busy B and the Grandmaster Caz and woo, all the Melly Mel, obviously, of course. He was the, MC god at the time. So, and we was just like, God, I ain't never seen what these cats look like. So it's like reading a book. So your imagination is just running wild. So you down here 2 hours away, 100 miles away, and you just like, I'm a shorty. I can't go up there to the parties. I can't get in the parties. What the hell? I gotta do something here. So then it just became the DJ game. Was like they got the MCs,
right?
We gonna be the DJs, and that was our attitude. It was like, you know what? Watch this, and you DJing, you getting chicks. You know what I mean? So that was like the segue into it. It was like, whoa, you the DJ. Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's me, baby.
Yeah. Right.
What's your
song?
Tell
tell me some more. What year you hook up with Steady B, and did Fila ever sponsor y'all?
So Fila, they I don't think they really sponsored. He bought a bunch of stuff, but they didn't know who he was at that time. That was before hip hop was like really busting like that. But that was 86. I got with him in 87. I got with him. So I got with him right after the Fila song and Bring the Beat Back. We connected through a mutual friend. So I was doing tapes and whatnot, and I was always just honing my skills. Because when I moved from the city, me and my mother moved, I got turntables and started practicing. And I was practicing. And my whole MO was like, yo, they gonna know who I am. And all these DJs out here, I'm like, all right, watch this. They gonna know who I am. Watch, because I'm gonna keep on honing my skills and honing my skills. They got a little head start. I'm sitting, I'm watching, listening. I'm like, this is cool. This is all right. Wait till they get a hold of me, load of me. Right. Wait, just wait. And that was my whole, my whole vibe. Because I wasn't always on the scene. I would go home, make my tapes, go back to my old area on the weekends, because my pop lived up that way. So I go up here to go see him on the weekends, and I go hang out with all my friends. I bust out this tape, boom. So one of my boys, his name is Ahmad, he heard me cutting up, and he told Steady about me. And, I got this job at this popular record store here. It was called Funko Mart. And it was on the main drag in Philly, like downtown 12th and Market, but it was underground. So you went in and went down the stairs like a subway or something. You know what I mean? So, and that's what made it real funky, because everybody was like, "Yo, this joint is underground. This is crazy. Like, we in the subway." And that's where I worked at, and I worked there on purpose because, I wanted to learn the music industry. I wanted to learn about it from a retail standpoint. And then he came down there one day and was like, I seen him come in there, and I was just like, all right, Steady. I seen a bunch of people come in there. DMC came through there, Grandmaster D came through there when the Fresh Fest tour came through.
Shout out Grandmaster D, that's my guy.
Yeah. They all came through, and I'm playing it cool, looking up. I might have been like 17 or something like that. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, that's Grandmaster D. Like, all right. And he came right on over, like, yo, dude, you got pumped me up. And I'm sitting there going, he gonna cut this tonight at the Fresh Fest. Damn. And I'm going. This is gonna be crazy. So I went and got him 12 inches of it. Here you go. He's like, you happen to have good times. And we was the only store around that would have 12 inches of that kind of stuff. We kept that kind of rare stuff around. So I gave him those, and then I just had to throw my 2 cents in. So you cutting these tonight? I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. That's what's up. And that's my guy from way back when, from back then when we met. We tight to this day.
Did he remember you from working there?
He did remember.
Oh, that's dope.
He did remember, because I was in his ear a little bit, and I was just like, man, this game, man, because it was hard to get in the industry at that time. It was like lock, stock, and barrel. They wasn't just like, anybody, just come on, just say what you got to say. No, it wasn't happening. It was like, what is this not? No, you better come with it or not at all.
Real competitive back then.
Yeah. Right, it was super competitive, and the powers that be was like they was holding on to it, like it was cherishing it, and I respect that. That's the way it should be. It's just the way it should be right now, because you had to fight to get on the mic. Right. You know what I mean? When the game first started, you couldn't just any old body get on the mic. You had to be known. You had to be somebody to get on that mic.
Right.
You had gangs and all kinds of stuff going on. So it wasn't just like any old body could just grab the mic. Yeah, whoop your ass. In the Bronx, no way.
Right.
Hey, tell us some. What was your best moments? Despite what we hear about Steady being cool, see, and with us knowing how important you guys were to the culture, what was your best moments with those guys?
Wow, we got together like every day. So we always went over my manager's house, and we made music every single day. So we always came up with 2-3 songs per day. You know what I mean? We would just come up with something new. And just those gelling years, was fun and just innocent. And it just grew just like a plant. It's just like you took these seeds and dropped them in the soil, and then they just grew. You watered them, and then they and you watched them blossom. That was the fun stuff for me, because when Boob and I got together, 87, He had like this black and white type, was green actually, record cover, and had Bring the Beat Back on it. And I did 4 records on that album. So that's when he came down and saw me at the record store, and then we crossed, got each other's math, and then he was like, "Yo, I'm looking for a DJ." Da 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 da. And I was like, "Well, let's do it." I ain't got too many other people, knocking my door down. Let me entertain this and see what it could be. And I'm an optimistic, positive type person, so I could turn, madness to freaking gold in a second, and that's really where I'm at. So I figured, you know what, me and him get together, I'm gonna make it into something. I'm making pop. And that's how we got where we was at, because I was like, yo, I could tweak this, tweak that, and me and him did the production. So, we in there making the beats, and oh man, I like this rhythm under that, and this horn blast here, and da 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 da. And then next thing you know, we got some good songs, So
y'all did Let the Hustlers Play together. Y'all did that album together on the production as well.
We did. Chuck Nice did a couple of cuts on that one. He actually did Let the Hustlers Play. Wow. He did that song, and Chuck Nice is a beast. He is a beast on that. Like, he played drums and stuff, so he nice. That boy, he's nice. And they basically came to me when I was working at the store too, at the record store, Funko Mart. They came down there too. The DJ Woody Wood, he came down, was like, please. Wood was he was on me. I mean, because we was hot. We was really popping in the town and everywhere and outside of the town. So we was the only thing going on at the time. So he was like, yo, can y'all please listen to my demo? And I was like, I'll give it a shot. I want to hear it. Let me see what it's here for. And they was from the other side of town, North Philly. So, but they were good. And we heard it. And we was like, yo, me and Boo was like, yo, they're good. And we brought it to the management. And he was like, yo, what y'all think of it? We was like, it's dope. We could work with him. Because we'll have a whole crew then. So then they came on, and then we made their first records and put Cool C in the record with them. Cool C, I'm not here to play.
Yeah, no doubt.
But me and Boo made that record. So, I mean, we made their first records and got them going, put the battery in their back, and then Chuck just took over from there. He came with that. Yeah, my God, he came with that fire. Yeah. He came with that. I was like, woo, this boy is bad. That's all he needed, was a little bit of, path, like which way to go, a little blueprint of what to do. And we got the drum machine, and he was like, oh, really? Watch this. He came back. He was a master. I was like, this boy is bad. So those were like our best days, man, the memorable days that we had, and going on like shows and whatnot early on. It was just so innocent and fun, and we was out having a ball, man. We was all over the place having a good old time. Before the business stuff came into play, before the little shady stuff and all that, that happens in the industry. It happens probably with everybody,
Right. Just looking at some of that old footage of that era, it just seemed like it was so much more fun to go on tour or do shows, and the settings were a little bit more intimate back then, so y'all could really connect with the fans. It seemed like. What were was there any cities in particular you remember being like where y'all just rocked it, that you were surprised that they were really accepting y'all music?
Man, talk about that Zapp, that Roger photo as well.
Oh yeah.
That was so bad. Billy T and Steady being Cool C and Zapp. Oh, man.
Places like Detroit.
Yeah.
Places like Louisville, Kentucky. We went to Virginia quite a bit. North Carolina, we went there quite a bit. But those shocking places that you just be like, Texas. We was big in Texas. All in town, the states that I mentioned, they all pop. We popped there. And this was before we knew, like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, y'all sold a lot of records here in Arkansas, Little Rock. Who would ever thought that? Milwaukee. Who would have thought that? St. Louis. I mean, but these are, areas that you just don't even realize that you would hit for whatever reason. Those songs hit it off there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there was surprising to me. Somebody just hit me on Instagram recently and was talking about Louisville, Kentucky, and the guy was talking about how he was at the show. Well, we walk in the door thinking, all right, we're gonna do this show, we're gonna do what we're gonna do, and it's Louisville. I don't know, it's gonna be some tumbleweeds blowing by. I don't know. I mean, I ain't never been there before. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I get there and they was rocking. It was rocking. We was just like, I mean, as soon as our name was announced, they was just going crazy, and we was just like, so I guess it was like Detroit, because I had never been there, so I didn't know what to expect. And then, I see people rocking Use Me to this day in Detroit with they Eldorados or whatever, Cadillacs or whatever they rocking. I mean, we got a lot of love for Detroit, man. A lot of love. Detroit
Steady
got a lot
B.
of love for us.
Man, when he said Detroit got all the hustlers, man, Detroit was
we went crazy.
Out.
So
yeah,
just
real.
the whole idea, let the hustlers play, that was like right up our alley here. You know what I'm saying?
And he was in tune with that, because I remember the day of us sitting down saying it. Because I put on that. You can hear all the hustlers at the convention. Blah 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 blah. Wow. When that hustlers convention, and he was like, "Whoa, play that again." He was like, "Hold on. We gonna put that in there, and I'm gonna say, New York got the hustlers, Detroit." And he was just on it. And he was on the street vibe. That was his thing. He was always on the street, so he knew. And he said that Detroit, I didn't even realize it made it, pop like that. But that was the first time.
The feelers and the Gucci's, the feeler suits and the Gucci's and stuff. That was us.
Yeah, that was our style during that time. Oh yeah, big time.
I see.
I got my feeler on today. I did that for you, Tat.
That's what's up.
For real.
That's what's up. Oh, I see the connection. I get you.
Yes.
What was unique about that during that time period outside of New York, we was always listening. We would hear them say, "Oh, Brooklyn in the house," or Queens and all of that. But anytime somebody mentioned Detroit, it was almost like they had automatic fans. So it was like he was thinking way ahead of his time when he was saying that. So that was dope.
Agreed. Because when he said it, I was just like, I was feeding him towns to say. He was like, what else? But he said Detroit, and I was like, man, I didn't even realize what he did. I didn't know the power of it.
Yeah.
But the D, we like going there. Joe Louis Arena, I went out there with Kwame, and I was like, what the hell? I was walking down the street. It was like mugs was all over me. I was like, damn, what the hell's going on here? That's fire. And he was like, man, I've been down with you from Steady B to Kwame to Infinity. I was like, okay, Detroit is what's up.
That's dope. Yeah. How is he holding up? How's Stan holding up? When the last time you spoke to him and Cool C?
Cool actually was calling me like every other week. He was calling me. I got to get with him. He wants me to come up there. So he been begging me to get up there to go see him. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen Cool in like 31 years.
Wow.
So now Steady, I've gone to see 3 times, and I got to go see him. They actually just moved them, I guess, because like the COVID thing or whatever. But they were both far away. Cool was 5 hours away. Steady was 4 hours away. So you're talking about an entire day that you gotta devote to, whether you're gonna drive or whatever. Cool was in Pittsburgh. Steady was in same Pennsylvania, but Steady was in Housedale, which is up by Penn State. It's still the middle of the state. It's like up in the hills actually. So it's what we call a dip. It's a dip. You be like going and going and going. Wow. You got to get up dumb early to catch them. Because they only got a certain amount of time, and then it's a certain amount of time for them to take the picture cards or whatever. So he gave me a couple of exclusives the last time I went. But Steady, I need to get up with. I haven't talked to him in a few years, so I gotta catch up to him. Okay. Definitely. And Butter, you said something about the Roger Zapp thing. We had just gotten down with Norby Walters, Cara Lewis. Norby Walters, same thing. And she was our agent, like Rakim says. So we was like, yo, this is crazy. We got Norby Walters, Karen Lewis, da 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 da. So she booked this show, and we go to Phoenix, Arizona to go do that show with Roger. We was like, Roger, Zapp, and Steady B. We was like, what? What?
Wow.
It was funny. I mean, but that's kind of like it was back in the day, because you would have like Gladys Knight and the Pips, Midnight Star, and Treacherous 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you talking about that was early 80s, and I used to hear them stories from Mo D and the crew, Special K in LA. I hear that from them, and they'd be like, yo, we used to come to Philly all the time. They have us on those, the multi-level shows and whatnot. We'd be on there with the different R&B acts, Rick James and Treacherous 3 and that kind of stuff. So when we heard it going to Phoenix, Arizona, and it was like around this time. It was around Christmas time. I think it was like in December, to be honest with you. It was cold, and we went out there, and it was hot. And I had never experienced that before. I was just like, yo, they got cactus out this mug. It's hot.
I'm at AZ right now. I'm out here now.
Oh, word up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we was just bugging out because we was, fans of Roger and, the whole Zapp band and all that. So, we get out there, we get to the airport, and Cool was with us. He went everywhere with us because he didn't have a record yet. So he was just kind of like, rolling along with us, just like to learn the ropes and whatnot. So, and be like a hype man or whatever. But he was the next man in line. So we get to the airport, and, we was on our hip hop, our hardcore, this, that, and the third. And I looked and was like, oh, snap. They go LA and Babyface. And they had just came out with 2 occasions. The song had just come out.
Yeah. Wow.
So they had on they was draped in they black and whatnot. They was doing the branding thing and all that. Right. Like the video and all that. And I look over and was like, and they was in the distance, and I happened to see him, and I was like, yo, they go the dudes right there, the deal. And they was just like, wow, man, whatever. And I was like, I'll be back. I'm gonna go holler at these dudes real quick. What up, bro? What up? Respect. I'm feeling that record. That record is all that 2 occasions. It was like their first record. And when you first coming out, that means a lot. That means the world when people was like accepting of it. So I went over and just gave them, dapped them up and whatnot, rapped them for a little bit, and then boogied on back to the crew. We did our sound check and got ready for the show. Of course, we opened for Roger, and we blew it down best we could do. They was accepting, and Phoenix was one of our spots, so we killed it. And he came on, and we just sat back, got the popcorn, and started watching the master. He was like, yo, this is right. And he killed it. I ain't never seen him do that live with the vocoder and all that. I was just that's dope. And I was mesmerized because I just love their music. You know what I mean? That more bounce to the ounce, all that. I mean, computerized, all that. I was just that was my, because I was making hip hop tapes, but I was also making slow tapes. Your girl ain't gonna ain't gonna want to hear no bebop, woo, shoo bop, boo dop, bop. She want to hear some you know what I mean. So so I'll be making the slow joints and all that. So and they just melt. You hear them slow, right? It be done. The hard part's over. You know what I mean? So I was in tune with the slow jam music at that time. So it was hip hop all day, and then slow jams like 2 a.m. So I was all into that. I was like, hey man, this is where it's at. Ladies, hip hop, not so much. They need a little more, intimate type situation. You know what I mean? So so anyway. Yeah, so Roger was like, he would do songs and whatnot. He'd get up there, boom, 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 and he changed outfits like after every song. And I'm looking at them, he's in the back, and I could see it like it was today. He's in the back, and I'm looking like I was kind of like backstage, but I'm looking in the back, and he's hiding from the crowd, obviously, and they're changing him. Like, he had a crew like, boom, 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 boom. And he was just standing there. He was just putting his clothes on him. And I was just looking like, yo, this is the shot right here. this boy is bad.
Wow.
He was like, am I neat? Am I neat? Like he was in their faces, like, am I neat? They
Right.
like, yes, you are. Yes, you. He had the captain hats and all that stuff he was rocking. Yo, that was a bad boy, man. That was a bad boy. And he loved us, man. He gave us a lot of love. I don't remember taking a picture or whatever. I kind of remember when Stead took a picture with him or whatever. I might have been setting up or something like that. But man, that dude right there is legendary, man.
You got a lot of footage from back in your days, and would it be a film on you guys? Because that's so well needed in the game, you know.
I have a little bit. I don't have a lot of footage. There was a couple of guys that used to, you know, tail us a lot and like film, but then they, you know, this one went to jail and the footage got lost somewhere, and that one passed away or whatever, and you know those kind of things happen. I'm just like, God, I was able to clip a little bit, not super like, you know, clear or whatever, but I have a little bit. But speaking of films, I just finished a film. It's called Check the Rhyme, and it's a documentary on the pioneers of hip hop. So it basically talks like to, you know, the Grandmaster Caz's and, you know, Cold Crush and Melly Mel and Treacherous 3 and Doug Fresh, and you know, it's like basically like from the late 80s to the late 90s. That's the golden era. That's what we encapsulate. That's what we capture. So basically, it's like the blueprint of what hip hop is all about. So a young kid coming up, life ain't nothing but and money. This is really, this is what you want to see. You know what I mean? You want to be like, okay, well, what's hip hop? It's not these gold fronts. It's not these Rams on this car. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not this money. Because we address all of that. Because I never did it for money. I never got into it for the money. You know what I mean? And God bless whoever's making, you know, a gazillion dollars out of it. That's great. I mean, obviously, because it changed from back then to now, you know, 30 years ago or whatever. Now it's just like, I just want that bag. I just want that bag. That's all I hear. And I'm like, okay, what about the art? Everybody want their bag, but I mean, what you going to leave? Is your record going to be popping a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 6 months from now? Like the classic hip hop, and the stuff that they playing, you know, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong beat to step to. They still playing that today. But some of the stuff that's being played right now ain't going to be playing in 6 months. And the kids is like, that's old. You know, I got kids, so I'm like, what you think of such and such? It's old, Dad. Man. I'm like, it's old. It's not even a year old. What you talking about?
Right.
What you mean?
Like, microwave music.
And you know what? That's so important.
It's basically right.
That's so important hearing that come from a DJ talking about the longevity of these songs, because a lot of times when we talk to artists, they don't understand that. And hearing the DJ actually say that, because who plays most of the records is the DJs, right? So I'm glad you brought that up, because even like Cool C, Glamorous Life, I don't know about everywhere else, but here in Detroit,
that's
that come on. That's almost like an anthem. Like we had a few artists try to remake that song over. You know what I'm saying? And call it.
They make it jiggy and everything.
Yeah. And Glamorous Life was that balance of you can have some flash and a little bit of money talk in there, but it was still the art form of creating a song that would last 30, 40 years out. I know people, you know, I'm 49. I know people in their 60s, 70s that like that song because of how it sounded and sonically how it came together. So yeah, that's very important.
At that time, it was a term in Detroit called sack chasers. At that time, they called the women sack chasers. Money sack chasers. It was in the timing of that song. It was a perfect timing of Glamorous Life and
sack chasers.
So sack chasers was our instead of gold diggers, we called them sack chasers.
Sack chasers.
All the hood dudes that was slanging, they had the sack. So the girls was
Mhm.
calling, we called them sack chasers.
J to the D in Detroit made a song. It was like a spinoff of that,
Right.
of Glamorous Life,
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta hear
Rest
this.
in peace, J
I
to the
like.
D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hey,
I need to hear that.
go ahead, brother.
What happened to DJ anthems, Tat? And what happened to the importance of the DJ? I mean, just us coming up, just going to rock and music, just to ride down Belle Isle and play that song with no rhyme, and it was just you cutting it up. It was just jazzy. It just dropped the top, and it was a pimped out song, for us going in Detroit coming up. It's like a Belle Isle. I don't know if you're familiar with Belle Isle, but it was our anthem, as DJs, and it was a cruising song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What
I don't
happened?
know that one. I basically think it was, cats really trying. The labels kind of run everything anyway, so they're like, all right, well, yeah, give me that. The DJ record was kind of a filler record, to be honest with you, because
Yes.
it was like a go-to. It was like,
Right.
all right, we got enough of these. All right, it's your turn, Tat. Come on, make a record. What you want to do? And I'm like, okay, I can cut it up. Nah. Somebody already done that before. I'm just like, all right, come with something different. So that's when I came with my rock and music joint. Made it a little bit different, a little jazzy, a little funk to it or whatever. And it worked out. But again, it was kind of like it was kind of like we're at that stage now. We need something else for the album. So that's what ended up happening most of the time. It was like a filler.
You had Deep Concentration with Premier. Jam Master Jay did a Jam Master Jam, and it was like a craze, for DJs to do an anthem on those records at the time.
It was trendy.
Yeah,
it was definitely a trendy thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I think some of those songs were setting us up for like the dance music that we got today, where you just hear instrumental, and it eventually led to where the DJ was just scratching over those instrumentals, and eventually those became a lot of what we see now. It's a lot of dance songs.
Was something to dance to. NWA did.
Yeah, those type of songs. I think those were like the beginning stages of that.
The setup of all that.
Yeah, it's a beat
Definitely.
without an MC on it, and it's something that we can either ride to, and eventually we start dancing to that. And you will hear the DJ scratching. Sometimes you'll hear the DJ talking over the music or something. But it gave you a different dynamic when you listen to the album. Like you said, it was a filler, but a lot of people, it was like, hey, I want to just listen to this song by itself. At least that's how we viewed it.
That's something you can play for your parents or something a little bit back then,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it was a little bit something different without somebody always rhyming over it or whatever.
Right.
So that was it was just like a little feel to it, because every record we try to make it, where it all just kind of meshed together, where it was cohesive as an album. It was more like a project opposed to just a bunch of songs.
Right.
They all kind of go together, and all right, let's line them up in the right way. So when the listener hears it, they're like, ooh, that slides into that. You know what I mean? So it was like one big idea, and not just let's try to make some money. We're trying to get this bag, and come on.
Say get lit, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I just never thought about that before making records. I just never thought about it.
But the perception of you guys were like mini moguls, your ghetto superheroes with the feelers and the Gucci's on. We look at the album cover and be like, man, we got it coming up in our neighborhood. We had a record store in our neighborhood, Chantonique's Records, and the wall just be lit up, and it just looked like hip hop superheroes on the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's what's up. I mean, we gotta represent now.
Yeah,
come on, we gotta represent. But it just wasn't our mindset. It wasn't. How can I say? That wasn't the be all to end all for us.
Of course,
it wasn't everything. You know what I mean? Everything for us was what's coming out of them speakers. So you feel like what's coming out the speakers, it's going to make you more money as it just keeps going on and on and on and on.
Right.
But it's just the gift that keeps giving, and that's really what it is. If you make a whack record, what you got? Nothing.
Right.
It'll play a couple of times, and then people gonna forget it. Man, get that up out of here. And then what? You ain't gonna make nothing out of it. You ain't gonna get. I mean, the fame actually is more popping than the money. To be honest with you, you would rather have the reputation of a hot record than you made $1 million off of some crap. You know, you got no longevity, like you said, Reg. You ain't got no longevity in it.
Right.
I kind of had that debate with somebody the other day, so I'm glad you said that. I said sometimes the fame is worth more than the money in a long-term perspective, because if you got good music out there and you didn't have like that one hit wonder phase, you could tour a long time with a good catalog of music, even though it didn't do 10 million off the single.
Yeah.
If you got 20 songs or 10 songs that all went gold, you probably tour off of them songs for 10, 20 years, or as long as you got a breath in you. You know,
that's the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Speaking of that, Kwame was like real huge in our time. And, you know, talk about your run with Kwame, you know, and how important he is to the game, you know, as a producer, MC, you know, a collection piece to this, you know.
Yeah, well, in '89, I did like 5 albums with Stead, and we did 2 albums with Cool C. So me and Steady came up with my manager actually came up with the idea for the Glamorous Life, and then we made the record. So he was like, you know, the Sheila E record was out, so he was talking about that and how, man, you got to come with something different, you know, because, you know, you got ideas, concepts. Albums used to be about concepts, which you don't do anymore. You know what I mean? So he basically came up with the concept of the Glamorous Life. And then we sat there, made the beat, came up with it, did all this stuff, boom, 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 the ooh, ooh, all that stuff. And then he had to come up with rhymes. He came up with the rhymes. We kind of helped him, you know, with the rhymes as well. And then we had a song. And we was just like, yo, this song is popping. This song is really popping. So, yeah, we knew we had something. I mean, you know, with the politics of the music industry, you know how stuff go. You know, you just kind of get like, whatever, man. God, we know we got a great record here. And the cats who are running the situation, they may not, you know, see the forest for the trees. They might not see the longevity. They might just be like, give me the money, give me the short money when it's long money in this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's unfortunately that's what happens a lot of times. You know, with them records that you feel like should have really blew, and that record was a great record. But in any event, I did a bunch, like I said, 5 albums with Boob, and then 2 with Cool, and worked on like the 3 Times Dope stuff and all that, helping them and, you know, to get their stuff together. I came up with the idea for the Giddy Up record, and, you know, never got credit for it, whatever, but I still cut on it, you know, because they was my boys. And Rob was like, that's my guy right there. So he was 16 when he came into the crew. So he just like gravitated to me. And then we just like talked, and I'd be like, man, what that rhyme you say? Oh, say that right there. Ooh, say this part right here. You know how you do this right here? I'm like helping him, you know, hone his craft and getting in there. So I'm like, he likes Karis one. I'm like, all right, well, say your rhymes cocky like he says them. You know what I mean? He like, it don't even matter. Like, who are you? You know, that's kind of vibe he had.
Right.
And he's still kicking your ass because he's just so nice with it.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, if you dig them like that, you gotta say your rhymes like I'm not even a problem. Like, you're not even breathing hard to say this stuff. You just like, it's just like comes out of your ears, you know, like whatever. And that was kind of like what I was, you know, telling him in the beginning, and then he finally like caught on and he got it. And in the event, after doing all that, and you know, the politics get in the way, and, you know, the management situation, like, I mean, I'll give you some real spit. We were popping in California, but we didn't know we were popping in California, and we weren't allowed to know that we was popping in California.
Wow.
Okay? So, painting you the picture, you know what I mean? So it's like, you don't know that you're popping overseas. but you popping overseas. I mean, we was on Jive Zamba, you know what I mean? RCA, you know, they took it over and put it all over the globe. And Zamba is African. So, you know, they're going to be universal. So I knew that. But the mindset was that we were supposed to think small. Like we're supposed to be, you know, tri-state. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, nah, we bigger than that. Because I got folks in California telling me, y'all shit is popping over here. So, right. But we had never been there. So it just it came to a head basically where, you know, they was like, look, management was like, look, anybody who's down is signing contracts, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I wasn't in a contract at the time. My contract had expired. So, and I was like this. I was like, no, don't even talk about contracts because I ain't signing shit. Wow. So, I mean, because then you lock down and then you can't do nothing, and that wasn't my be all to end all. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get out and get something because, you know, I'm a half full, not a half empty kind of person. I'm positive, you know what I mean? So Capricorn, you know what I mean? I'm a go getter. So. Right. I was like, if y'all turkeys is not down with it, I got to go. Because I can't sit here and be stagnated and be sold this story that I just didn't quite cut it. All right, whatever. Didn't quite make it, huh? All right. In my head, I know the money people know the situation. And with that said, they're going to be like, their situation is kind of janky. Let me just slide past them and go get Jazzy Jeff and blow them the hell up. Boosh. You know what I mean? Since the management can't get it together, we'll just bypass them and go get Mo D. You know what I mean? Go get, you know what I mean? We was all on the same label. So it's like, what the hell?
Y'all were like the, what? Y'all were the earliest, with the first hip hop next to Houdini, next on Jive Records?
Yeah. We was the first ones on there. First.
Wow.
But if they see a situation where they like, this is like some middleman stuff, and if it gets, you know, comes to a head, what we gonna do? We got money invested. We got to invest in something that, you know, we can get our ROI out of it. Like, all right, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, hey, they ain't got nothing with them. Let's blow them up. Boop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the way it go. You know, we had all the hot records. We had hot records, but I mean, I already know. But long story short, it just came to a point where it was like everybody got to sign a contract, and I was like, ain't gonna be able to do it. Nah, nope. Nah. I mean, if the business practices were better, if they would have switched, if they would have changed, then yeah, then I would have been like, let's go, let's do it. Because I was all about the crew. I was all about everybody in the crew. I was the oldest one on the hilltop. So besides Chuck Nice, when he came, he was older than me, but he didn't know the business like I knew the business. So I was telling them everything, being in it every single day, doing it every single day. And, you know, traveling, making songs, making records, whatever. You learn, you know, that's on the job training. You learn. So it just came to a point where it was like, I signed a contract or, you know, or else. I'm like, well, fuck it, or else then. I'm not signing jack shit. So, matter of fact, I'll do you a favor. I'll pack right on up right now and be out. I'll call your bluff. Let's go, because I'm gonna make moves. I got stuff to do. I got people watching. My mom is like, all right, so how long should I wait for this music thing here? Like, you could have went to the service, or you could have went to college. And I'm hearing that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know, mind you, I'm a youngster. So you ain't gonna be just like doing whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Your parents is like, I mean, if you disrespectful or you don't care, that's cool. But I mean, I was raised properly, so I care what my parents say. You know what I mean? What they think and all that. So I come from that era, so I'm respectful like that. So I was like, you know what? I need to motivate. And long story short, what ended up happening was EST was friends with Quan. I had met him we met by chance. It was a Cool C and a Kid and Play show in, I want to say it was Richmond, Virginia. It was either Richmond or Norfolk, and there was a snowstorm down there, and we went all the way down there. We was like, yo, this is gonna be popping. This is gonna be all that. We get down there, and it was like, damn, this is like a snowstorm. And Salt and Pepper were there, Kid and Play was there, Herbie was there, and Kwame was there. And I didn't know who the hell Kwame was. So, because he had no record, no nothing. He was just like this dude running around with his like dashiki on and whatnot. And I'm like, but he was a cool ass dude. So, you know, I knew who Kid and Play, of course. You know, we did the show and all that. It was like in like a school auditorium or something like that. I don't know. It was in some kind of middle school we did the show. But it was snowed out. Nobody really even came. We rocked out, and then we went back to the hotel, and then we just like had a ball. You know, it was a bunch of us in there. All them people I named was all there. Herbie, all them people. So I had a chance to talk to Herbie a little bit because, you know, he had dealt with my management with the Showstoppers with Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
Because they did that record on my manager's label. Of course, The Bridge was on my manager's label. The Bridge, MC Shan, the Bridge. That was on there too. It was distributed by them.
Pop
right.
Art.
Yep. It's right on that label. It says it right there. A lot of people miss it, but it's right on there. But in the event, I wanted to learn from their, I want to hear from their mouths. Like, yo, what y'all, you know, what did y'all experience? Blah, 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 blah. Because it was like a mystery and nobody was saying nothing about it. So I learned a little bit that night from Herbie, but then I got cool with Kwame. And, you know, we was tight. He knew us. I didn't know him. So he told me later, I was like, damn, this is Steady B and Cool C and Tat Money like that. And I was like, what? I had no idea he was thinking like that. But he told me that later. So fast forward to when I left, EST hit me up and he was like, yo, they're having a party in New York, like the Salt and Pepper party, and we should go up. And I'm like, for what? He's like, well, Kwame, you know, his record had came out by then. After like a month or so after that snowstorm, that show that we was in, his record came out. Man, We All Know and Love had come out. So I saw him on BET then, and I was like, oh, snap, this the dude. Oh, snap, cool ass dude right here. Oh, that's the homie right there. So I was like, this dude is he all doing this thing in the video? I'm like, this dude he got a little character in there. All right, check this guy out. So I didn't know he was all, because he never said, yo, nah, I'm such and such rapper, this and nothing. He ain't never said none of that when we met. He was just on the scene. So he was Johnny on the spot. I was like, yo, this dude is all right. So when ES was like, we're going to roll up to his crib, I was like, all right, you know, I ain't no rider or nothing like that. I ain't trying to be on nobody's stuff. But they were supposed to have been boys. So I was like, all right, man, let's go. I ended up going up there with him. He met me for the second time, Kwame, and he was actually in need of a DJ because him and his DJ B Flat was going through some little stuff. So I didn't know. We all hung out that night, went to the party, blah, blah, blah. We went back to his crib in Queens. We chopped it up, whatever, and then we got up out of there. Maybe like 2 weeks later, Kwame hit up EST and was like, yo, you got Tat's number? Hit him up, man. I want him to come DJ for me. I got a couple of shows coming up. So I was like, I'm really not even trying to DJ for nobody, to be honest with you, because I was producing for like local groups. So I ended up like, he coerced me to come on up. We practiced and we went out and did 2 shows, like in Texas and I think it was Colorado or something like that. We did 2 shows and it was kind of dope. And he was super popular. So people was looking at me like, wait a minute, you went from Steady B to Kwame. Now he's super popular. You got a lot of popularity from me. Y'all came together like this and it just went boom. Yeah. It just went whoosh out of here. Because that was like one of the first times that ever happened before. Like you change crews. That don't usually happen. No hip hop, that never happened. So that was one of the first times that I ever knew that it happened. You know, a popular group or, you know, somebody who was popular at the time. Because everybody was like, you were supposed to be with Steady B. And especially different states like Philly and New York.
Right.
That ain't never happened before. So that was kind of monumental. It was fun. And to lead into what you were saying, Butter, about Quam, like with me staying there, because I couldn't really come home a lot, I had to stay in Queens because we would have shows and it was like, oh, we going to New York. I mean, we going to California. We going to, St. Louis. We going to whatever, Vegas, this, that, and the third. It was just always something popping up. So I couldn't be out, leave, drive 100 miles away. We gotta go rehearse. Da, 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 da. So I ended up just staying there. I just stayed. And I was a youngster, so I was like, whatever, mom, I'll be home, sometime.
Right.
And I just stayed, just stayed there. And then we was doing all kind of big shit. So it was fun. It was like, man, we doing Arsenio and the Soul Train and, all this TV performance. And it was fly, man. It was a good time. But in those times that we at Quam's house and rehearsing and stuff like that, I saw his talent. I saw him as a producer, and I was like, yo, dude, you need to produce for other people. He was like, no, I ain't doing that. I'm keeping all my beats.
I seen some of that. Eminem took credit for one of his tracks on Hip Hop DX. I seen. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
What?
On Fire. Was it Lloyd Banks or something? Yeah. I saw that. Shout out Kwame.
I mean that's the business. That's how things go.
Yeah.
That's things. He had a little more pull, a little more power. He was just like, give me that beat, full Tom Jack move. So
hey,
but he got paid for it. No, go ahead.
Quick question about the production side of it. What do you think the advantages of being a DJ and a producer, as far as, because we've always seen some DJs produce, but it seems like some of our best producers were former DJs or still DJs. What's your take on that?
Well, just as you said, you develop an ear. If you DJing or whatever, or on that level, you're going to hear oh, wait a minute, ooh, this will go with that, and you can mesh some things together, kicks and snares, and different tones and sounds. You just more adapt to it. You're adept to it more so than somebody who's not into it or whatever. You just have an advantage, I would say, as far as being a DJ and production, because you're already touching it. You're touching the music. You're into it, and it's just going to come out even better. I feel your touch is just going to be way better than somebody just coming in. I'm a producer. You know what I mean? Most producers DJ like Large Professor, Diamond D, Premier.
DJ
you know
Quick.
what I mean? Right. Exact. Dr. Dre. Right. So so you're just gonna have a better feel because you're familiar and so on and so forth.
Tell me something. What you think about the technology with the equipment nowadays and the young kids? To understand the difference between vinyl and collecting records opposed to all the technology, the feel of the. Just explain that to the DJs out there that our era opposed to now, how beautiful the technology is right now. The kids is 5 years old cutting it up. And it's just like that. You seen that back in the days? Did you see that coming?
I did. I mean, I was a part of it. Like Serato, they pretty much basically just made me one of their beta testers. So and I had to tell different DJs that it was dope, because most cats was like, what you talking about, Willis? What? You could do what? You ain't gotta bring no records. You just them 2 records right there in the computer. What you talking about? That, I mean, and it was like a handful of us that basically they used our names to promote it and got it out there around the world, and they gave us free product and this, that, and the third. And I saw it coming. I knew it was going to turn into something big, and it did. And I love it because, man, I hate carrying them daggone records. But I mean, that's just the way that you paid your dues. But I think it's a good thing and a bad thing, to be honest, at the same time. Maybe bad and good at the same time, because you don't have those experiences. Just like you don't have the experience of, you know, going into the store and purchasing that CD and opening that joint up and reading the liner notes. You know what I mean? You ain't got that memorabilia no more. You know what I mean? It's like it's just a stream. What the fuck is that? you ain't got nothing. It's nothing to hold on to, and they don't even put nothing into the videos no more. Like the kids don't even. They're not even wired anymore to be like, you know how when the song came out, you be like, don't believe the hype. You be like, oh, that's my joint.
It was a
and
moment.
You like, and you like, yo, the videos came out on like a Friday, and then you just be right in front of the TV like, oh, I can't wait. And when the video come on, you like, yo, and it just takes you to another level.
That was serious. That was the serious with y'all. And KRS-One was
right.
We rushed home from school and grabbed the popcorn and said, like, yo, this is something different right there, you know.
That was Fat Five Freddy.
Do you still have any vinyl do you practice on vinyl still? Or you just gave up?
Oh, okay. Absolutely. I definitely practice on vinyl. I mean, that's just something that, I mean, coming up with different turntables and different needles, because, you know, we were like finding all this stuff. You know what I mean? We were trying to figure it all out before it became, you know, relative mode and you just doesn't skip anymore. Okay, great. But before that, I was, you know, I just gotta get another record. Then this record is skipping, or, you know, I got to get another needle. And, you know, we was beta testing at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely keep the vinyl going, and I'll sync that with the question that was asked from Butter earlier about the technology. I think it's a good thing for all. Probably it's more advantageous for a person like myself, because I'm a technology dude. You know what I mean? I'm into all this, and I was waiting for it to evolve. So I just basically keep it, you know, gully. I keep it on that pioneer side. The controller, I mean, Rev 1 and a Rev 7 or whatever. I've seen them. I've been on them, you know, probably reluctantly been on it. You know what I mean? But I think it has its place. You know what I mean? And I'm the person to tell you, I'll define it for anyone, and I'll say that, okay, yeah, for a 5-year-old, get on there, cut it up, absolutely. If you in a tight club and they paying you, you know, less than what you deserve, go ahead, take your Rev 7, whatever, take it, go for it. Your whatever you got, your controller, go for it, have fun. I'm not spending on no controller though. I'm gonna say it that way. I'm not, and not me. I'm not gonna be on the stage with a controller. I mean, I've seen it done, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
okay,
people watching Tat.
I mean, it don't even look funky. It don't even look sexy when you up there. I mean, picture me up there on these little CDs or whatever.
See, y'all was a Gemini mixer, you guys, and, you know, cutting it up on them joints, you know. Man.
Yes. I mean, I still have that fire. You know what I'm saying? I still got that. A still competitive spirit. It's still flowing. So how am I walk up here with a controller and my competitor roll up here? He rolled up here on some turntables. I'm looking like a scrub for real. I mean, so I mean, to all the, you know, the companies or whatever, Pioneer, this one, that one, that's all good. I mean, I could buy all my shit anyway. I don't give a fuck about you giving me nothing. But I mean, I've gotten a ton of free stuff, but I could buy my shit. I'm blessed. But I'll just say I don't got nothing against it. I just think there's a time and a place for it. That's what I'll say. You know, I don't own none of it. I don't own not a one. I got like 6 pair of turntables around here. And hey, call me OG, triple OG, classic, whatever you want to say. I can't get funky on those daggone little CD things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, my hand, I could palm a basketball. My hands ain't fitting on that little thing. Come on, man. Come on. You gonna ask Cubert to go get on some CDs or something?
Right.
Man, man, get out of here. He gonna be looking at you like, what? Is you stupid?
Well, what's next for you, Tab? You know, what's to come out in 2023?
Well, 23 is my Check the Rhyme film. I'm in negotiations right now. Me and my partner Tim Mater, he's Matter. Sorry, he started this film about 20 years ago, and he stepped to me at one of my shows in Philly, me and Kwam, and he was like, "Can I interview you?" This, that, and the third, and I was like, you know, whatever. Everybody shooting something, blah 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 blah. We ended up missing each other. He called me or something. He called my office phone, and I missed him. And then he posted a YouTube link of this Check the Rhyme thing, and I was just like, "Wait a minute!" It was on Facebook, and I pulled it up, and I was like, "Yo, this is fire." I was like, I went and grabbed the phone, boop, 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 and called him. And then we talked about it. And I was like, yo, I can help you with this. So that I can help you with it. You know, he want to interview me thing. And that all just spiraled into, I'm a producer on it now. Because I ended up like, you know, we ended up doing it, like getting Rakim and Kane and this one and that one. Like some of the people that he couldn't touch, I could touch. So it was like, boop, DMX. So, you know, we got a bunch of cats on there. Shock G is on it. We got a lot. Chuck D, a lot of people that's integral in this hip hop game. And we basically break it down. So it's a storyline to it. It's a 4-part series. And we're actually in negotiations right now to get it on a platform. So I'm looking, being though it's the 50th anniversary of hip hop this year, August the 11th, I need it to be out. So yeah, my people are all over right now. So that's the next thing on the burner. I'm touring with the alumni. I have a show with them in 2 days in Bethesda, Maryland. That they consist of Kwame, Moni Love, Dana Dane, Special Ed, Greg Nice, right? So and
we need to interview all y'all, man.
Yeah.
Too, for real.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the alumni?
Yeah. I've been following Chubb Rock and, you know, seeing what Special Ed been doing. Special Ed was some of my earlier interviews, you know, Special Ed. So I've been following him since the Dollar Cab Lab and all that stuff he had back in the days. I don't know if you remember his studio back in the days. It was called
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. Because he was down with Howie T and Chubb. Yep. That's how he got on. Yep. Yeah. We've been doing that for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
So we've been all over this place, man. So it's been fun, man. We having a good time, you know. And you know, I'm a businessman as well too. So, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. So I do other things, you know what I mean? So you know, like properties and things of that nature too. So, you know, I get my grown man on.
Hey, that's what this show is about, because I'm a real estate broker. I've been in real estate for 30 years, right? And me and Butter always talk about when we interview people, what are people doing outside of the music that you can still have a successful career outside of hip hop, but then you can do hip hop straight just for the art of it, right? So you don't compromise who you are. So it's to hear you even say that is just like, wow, it's like refreshing, you know. And a lot of times we don't know what some of our favorite artists are doing right now. We don't know how they're surviving or how they're getting by. And it's good to just hear somebody say, okay, I got this going on. I'm doing a movie and I'm still active in hip hop, right? Because again, nobody is telling the Rolling Stones they too old to go on tour, or some of these dudes. And we can still go out here and have fun with it and enjoy what we do and scratch the vinyl.
Exactly. I mean, that was my whole thing. I'll give you another one. My wife was into childcare.
Wow.
So yeah, she was a teacher, and she had this dream of, you know, owning her own place. So again, turning nothing into something is my thing. So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna get you a situation where we now have a child care center for the last 22 years. So, and it's a huge child care center. So that's also a lot of people don't know. It's a part of my life, you know. And working with kids is fun because I mean, men are like grown kids, basically. You know what I mean? We like big kids, so you know, playing
we know.
basketball, video games, and all that kind of stuff. That's right up my alley. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. I mean, not that I'm in the class or whatever the case, but I mean, she actually passed away like 7 months ago. And
condolences, man. Condolences.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we was together
man,
like 30 years.
Wow.
But
condolences.
Yeah,
man, for real.
My G, I appreciate you.
Right.
But
man, happy belated birthday to you too, man.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Man.
Appreciate that.
Pick the spirits up, man. I've been with my wife 30 years, so just to hear you
that's what's
hear
up.
you
That's
say that, man.
Yeah, I'm a grounded cat, so you know that's where it's at for me. Yeah, so yeah, I mean I appreciate you. I went to Miami with that one, man. I had to get up out of this cold real quick for the B day. Let's put it down for the B day.
That's what's up.
I just got back last night. So when you was like,
up,
let's do the interview, I was like, yeah, I should be cool about it. Back in this 31-degree weather.
Right.
Did you DJ somewhere on your birthday, or you just hung out?
Oh no. I was just partying. That's all. I just went to go get my party on, man. Go get me some champagne, some prosecco. Let's go.
Right.
That was it. Some good food, some scenery. I mean, rocking some shorts, and I had my Sixers tank on. Man, what?
Right.
Man, Miami. I hadn't been to Miami in a long time. It's been a minute, bro, and they changed. Miami's all that.
Right. It's before we wrap up, is it any up and coming artists or DJs that you got your ear to or you listening to now?
My man DJ Active is an up and coming artist, our DJ out of Philly.
Yeah,
He DJs for everybody. That boy is on the move.
Shout out DJ Active.
Yeah. You'll see him. That dude done spun for freaking Kanye, from Common to Patti LaBelle. He's done spun for Janet Jackson. He has spun for so much people, man. That boy is on the move. That's my guy.
Right.
See Tat in the back.
I'm peeping it. That's fire right there. That's fire. And that I'll give you a little story on that video right there. I did that video for Pharaoh Monch. That's what I did it for, because he was in Philly a lot, and I used to bump into him in like the different events and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, "Yo, you's a badass DJ." This, that, and thank you, whatever. Then one day I seen him. He was like, "Yo, I'm kind of looking for somebody to go on tour with me." So he was like, "Can you put a little something together? Show my management." I was like, "All right." So that's why I made that video right there for. I made that for him. There's actually another part to the video that I never put. I was cutting up his bam, 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 bam. I was cutting that up, cutting his joint up. But I cut the rock the bells and I cut the, to get the fuck up. Simon Says. But I didn't want to release that video. I didn't release it actually for a long ass time because of the slow motion part of the Matrix part. When I slowed it down all the way down, I started, like you said, hit the stop button. I did that. And I seen a bunch of people copy it after I released it. I was like,
yeah, I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah, we already knew they was going to do that, but it's all good.
So that's the official name of it. It's the Matrix.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
That's what I call it.
Tat Money, the Matrix scratch. So Philly got a couple. What was it? The Transformer scratch and the Matrix scratch. Shout out to Philly.
Yeah,
for sure.
Man, well, we want to let y'all know, man. Philly hip hop has always been in our heart before what they see now. EST, Steady B, Cool C. All you guys. I know they familiar with more what Meek Mills and State Property and doing nowadays. But Steady B has always been one of our favorites. Cool C, Kwame, even, so we want to give you all that love and make sure y'all mention on our platform as well as the DJs.
Right.
The DJs is so important to us,
That's what's up, brother. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for your time. And shout out to the whole Hilltop Hustlers and Steady B, man. We want to be the first to interview Steady B, man. So, man, that'd be dope, man.
I'm gonna go up there. This year. I'm gonna go up there and go see him because he's only like an hour away from here now.
Man,
so I need to
cool
go. I'm gonna go check him out.
We
I'm gonna go see both
man.
of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Word up.
Well, thank you, DJ Tat Money, man. Man, happy belated birthday to you as well.
I appreciate you.
You're a legend in our heart, man. Shout out to DJ Dez. I know they want me to mention their names. 12 Tech Mob, DJ Daddy Riff, all the DJs from Detroit that inspired by you. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's what's up. What's up. Wow.
Yeah, whenever you come back to Detroit, you gotta connect with us so we can show you around the city, show you a good time, and you'll see how much love you got out there.
Yeah, you a DJ dad out there, man, for real.
Yeah. That's what's up. I'm gonna buy some of them houses out there.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, 5,000, 10,000.
No, don't believe that. It costs $5, but it's gonna cost you a pretty penny to fix them up.
Fix it up,
So I'll help you navigate that when you're ready, though.
Yeah.
That's what I need. That's what I need right there. Yeah. I've been out. We did a couple of shows. The alumni actually came out there probably like 2 years ago. We did a show out there.
Okay.
It was like in some sort of like amphitheater or something. Like nothing, like a little theater actually.
Okay. That probably was the Majestic State Theater or the Majestic or something. Was Chubb Rock? Were you with Chubb Rock at that time? Was he on that show?
Yeah.
I think that's the one where Corona performed on that one. If I'm not mistaken, y'all. We have a female artist here named Miss Corona, and I think she opened up. Her and Super MC opened up.
I think you're right
for that show. Corona was she played in 8 Mile. She was the female in the 8 Mile.
Vanessa,
I believe you're right. Because I think Kane was on that show too. I believe.
Probably
I believe so.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Well, when you come back out, we gonna connect with you and show you around.
Get you a Highland Park house. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Highland Park, Michigan. Got to look us up, man.
For sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, have a good one. This is Funky Fresh in the Flesh. Check it out with the legendary DJ
Tat Money.
And we out.
Top Hustlers. Yes.
All right.
Peace
out. Have a good one. All right.
All right, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Peace.
All right.
Peace.